Hi, guys. Just really quick jumping in here before the episode. As always, we try to make sure that our episodes are family friendly and upbeat, positive, want to bring good vibes to everyone, share some good tea. This is just a real quick content warning for those of you who have young kids or looking to keep things a little more clean. No bad language in this one. Gonna try to keep that the standard, but there is some discussion about movies that we were allowed to watch as children that we might not have been appropriate for children. One of those films has some scenes that we do discuss, not in explicit or graphic detail, but this is your heads up. You might want to preview this episode, make sure that it is in line with what you might want to share or might not want to share with your family members. I think it's still fun. I think we still keep it pretty light, but just a heads up so that you know. Welcome to Some Good Tea, where we drink some tea and we share some tea. I'm Katie Bresnahan, your host, and today I'm sharing some tea with my friend. You want to introduce yourself, friend?
Sure. I am Hannah, rumoredly Hannah Lofgreen.
Probably,
maybe, soon to be Bridge. So,
yeah,
soon.
It's very exciting.
Thank you.
The tea that we're enjoying together today is a Rooibos chai tea. What do you feel about it so far now? You've had it.
It definitely feels verbose. I really love it. It's really good. If you ever have the opportunity to drink Katie's tea, 10 out of 10, I do recommend.
Thank you.
Do it.
Thank you. It's a great tea. It's very like warm, all the like fall time flavors, but without the dirt.
Yeah, it feels like the warm hug you wanted in childhood, but you never received. Tastes like that.
Awesome. Guys, we're going to go to so many great places today. I'm so excited. As per usual, our topic is going to be decided by the roll of my lovely 20-sided dice. And we're going to be talking about childhood and all those scarring things that may or may not have happened. Do you want to start us out? Do you want to roll the dice first, or do you want me to go first?
I can roll.
Okay.
I am capable of doing that.
Okay. Let's see what you get.
12. One of my favorite numbers.
Okay. This is kind of fun. Do you remember your first pet? Was it yours, your family's? How did it come into your life?
Yeah.
All of the things.
Those are good questions. I had two pets come in at around the same age, probably around somewhere between 3 to 5. I can't remember which one was first. So we had a cat named Tigger.
Oh.
And we had a dog named Lady. And
that's cute.
Both are kind of tragic stories.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, well, let's hear about it.
My dog Lady, she was a German Shepherd, and I was deathly afraid of her. I refused to be in a room with a dog as a child.
Wow.
But she
was there a reason, or just a big dog, little kid?
Big dog, little kid. They had really sharp teeth, so they kind of felt like monsters to me.
Yeah,
they felt like
scary monsters.
Scary.
Pointy ears, big poofy tail.
Yeah, and we were living in Arizona, and so we lived in big properties, and on the properties, a lot of people had like mini little homestead farms kind of vibes.
Cute. Okay.
And one day she went over to the neighbor's yard and got into their chickens, and so our neighbors shot her.
Oh my gosh.
So,
wow.
Traumatic death.
That is a very, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Where you grew up in a small town.
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh gosh.
Just kind of on the outskirts.
Mesa. Stop shooting dogs.
Yeah. They're very gun friendly. So
I mean, I get it. Like, if I saw a random dog attacking my chickens, that's like, I get it, but that's rough.
And the community we were in, because it was kind of on the very edge of Mesa, it was really a lot of people who like understood and kind of grew up that way. If your dog's eating,
if your dog goes
chickens,
after livestock,
they're going to be shot.
Or something naughty.
It'd be that way.
Yeah.
So our cat Tigger, I really liked, and she was super cute. My brother was pretty traumatized by her. She liked to scratch him and things. Yeah. But she, one day when I was going to dance class, she jumped in the car with us.
Oh no.
And so we didn't know until we got there, and
the cat was in the car.
And she jumped out the window, and
oh my gosh,
we never saw her again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So both of those pets we only had for a couple months.
For a couple months? Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, so your dog you got as like an adult dog? Like your dog was an adult dog?
Oh, no, my childhood dogs. Like, so my first pet.
Oh, wow.
The first ever pets I've had. So like from ages like 3 to 6, somewhere in there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's rough. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's just like where I grew up. My animal stories and pet stories are different. But like, wow.
Yeah.
I have multiple friends who are like, and then the dog got shot or whatever. Or the cat ran away and we never saw it again. Like, wow.
Yeah, really my only memories of those pets were their demise.
So sad.
And I remember when we got Tigger, she was like really a cute kitten. It may have been a boy cat. I can't even remember at this point. With a name like Tigger, probably a boy. But I remember getting Tigger, and then I remember Tigger being gone, and the explanation was that it jumped out the window.
The cat jumped out the window at dance practice. That is so wild. Like, but that tracks with cat ownership, I feel like. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. That was a good answer to that question.
Starting off strong, starting off
really
sad.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking about like my first pet that I remember like being mine personally, and it also has a really sad ending, the story. And like I look back on it now and I'm like, it's kind of comedic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you got to be careful getting a child a pet.
You do, and I think a lot of people don't know that. You know, responsible pet ownership.
Yeah.
It's a whole
tricky.
thing.
It's tricky, and I think like a lot of the reasoning, right, is that I'm going to get my kid this animal because they're old enough now, and it's going to teach them responsibility, and I'll have to take the dog for walks and clean up after it and train it. Like it'll teach the kid good things, which is possible. Like I think that has its merits for sure.
Yeah.
But there can be a lot of unintended consequences to pet ownership. But wow. Hey, that's a good story. That's a good story. I like this story.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I didn't. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh shoot.
Bringing back trauma.
I know somebody's got to. So, but I have to ask, was Tigger orange?
No, I think it was a gray tabby.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Gray tabbies are really pretty.
They are. They're really cute. Yeah.
Tracks for kids naming a cat. Like it's a cat, therefore it's Tigger. Doesn't matter if it's orange or it's a cat. So it's Tigger. That's cute. That's really cute. Well, now I get to roll the dice. Unless you want to roll it again.
Go ahead and roll it.
We'll see.
Do you want me to read off the question?
No.
Okay.
You'll see all my notes. It'll give it away.
Okay.
That is a 16. Ooh. So, my question is movies that my parents let me watch and maybe they shouldn't have.
Oh no.
If you have a good story for this, you're welcome to chime in too. That's totally fine.
Okay.
So the first one that just immediately pops to mind, because I was obsessed with this movie as a child, like absolutely obsessed. I loved it so much. Watched it constantly. Like to the point where it's not really a scary movie, but I would have nightmares about some of it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
So I would still watch it anyway.
Complex relationship.
It was a complex relationship. Yeah. So the movie is The Last Unicorn.
I knew I was waiting for it to be The Last Unicorn. Yep. Yeah, I had the same experience.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good, I feel like it's a good
so
movie.
Good. And I wanted to be the unicorn, especially when she turns into a girl. She was so pretty.
Plus she's a unicorn. Like it plays on a lot of like those young little kid, like, wow, this magic and adventure.
Yeah.
It's cool. It was a very cool story.
I knew you were gonna say The Last Unicorn.
That's so funny. I think I still have a copy of it on like DVD or something. I haven't watched it in years, but yeah, that movie is such a trip.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely feels like you're on drugs.
Yeah, it is such a trip, especially with like the butterfly. Like there is so much that you're like, whoa. But there's like a few scenes and there's actually like a lot of profanity. Yeah. Which I had no idea of. I mean, right, like, you're like 6.
And that's kind of the thing about that movie is that there's like so much just under the surface. My mom always talks about how there was like a pornographic tree with big old boobies. I don't remember the tree being particularly pornographic, but then I saw a picture about it later on, or of it later on, and those are tatas.
That tree was asking him to do some things. But my gosh, like, there's the tree. Yeah. The butterfly is definitely tripping. Oh my gosh. The little lady that pals around with them, like, oh my word. She's got a vocabulary. And even the scene where they get captured at this carnival, it's really creepy.
The carnival was, I remember that being particularly disturbing to me. That and the scene with the gets let out. The bulls running.
Yeah, the bull was really scary. It's a dark story. Like it's a fairly dark story, and it brings up some like dark themes. And it's portrayed accurately to the fairy tale, but for whatever reason, fairy tales transitioned from being like stories,
dark stories
that you tell everybody, but then they became kids' stories, but they stayed dark. And then we turned those quote unquote kid stories into cartoons, and one of the products of that was The Last Unicorn. And I would, like, if I had a child, I would not let that child watch The Last Unicorn until they were at least like 10 or 12. Like at least.
Yeah. And I remember watching, I was probably about like somewhere like 6.
5 or 6 when I saw it the first time. Like I don't remember the first time I watched it. I just remembered I always loved it. Always watched it over and over again. And it's not a bad story. It's just dark.
It's just dark and a lot of tatas.
Dirty. There's a lot of boobs. There's a lot of breastage going on. Yeah. With trees, and there's some language and some topics that are discussed that you're like, is this age appropriate?
And the answer is no.
The answer is probably not. Like probably not. I'm all for like educate your children, but maybe don't let a cartoon educate your 6-year-old,
Agreed.
But love it. I still really like that movie.
Yeah. The unicorn's still pretty.
She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
She's what I wanted to grow up to be.
I mean, she was like really cool. And it's like it's a happy story, you know, because like the wizard like finds himself and comes into realization of like his own worth and stuff and his magical abilities, and like the unicorn like is reunited with all of her family. She thought she was alone for so long. Like there's so many things in there's like that's really nice.
It was really cute.
But
very wholesome.
Also awful. It's also awful. I guess like the obvious ones, like we watched things like The Matrix and like lots of John Wayne and lots of like Titanic we watched. But we had, gosh, guys, we had this bag, this red like duffel bag that had all the quote unquote adult movies in it.
Ooh, that's a way to make it tempting.
Well, the thing is, they were all on VHS, right? And my dad had like an editing machine, and he edited all of these like R-rated movies that I grew up watching, totally unaware
of what was going on,
that they were R-rated. I had no clue. And I had so many friends that like I would tell, oh yeah, like I love The Matrix, it's so good. They would lose their minds at me because they weren't allowed to watch these movies, and I was, you know, like 8, 9, like watching these R-rated films. They were edited, so I don't feel like I count that as much.
But The Last Unicorn
probably should have been edited, at least a couple scenes. And then the other one that is like, man, should I have watched this, was actually All Dogs Go to Heaven. Another like very wholesome story, but man, like I didn't realize until I was like a teenager that the dogs were gambling and basically in the mafia. I had no idea.
Dogs can be sinners too.
Yeah, it's true.
But they all go to heaven.
They all go to heaven, and that's kind of the vibe, right? That's like the point of the story. And this dog has like a redemption arc or whatever. It comes back, but man, like, whoo. Yeah. Like they gun him down. He drowns. There's a scene where he's having a nightmare about going to hell, and he's pictured getting eaten alive by demons. Like, it's dark. It's dark.
That is dark.
It was another one that I watched obsessively because dogs, right?
Yeah.
There's
dogs and unicorns. That
dogs
is
unicorns
what will pull
about.
Katie in.
Apparently. Yeah. So that's my answer to that question. At least those are the ones I can think of.
Yeah, I was gonna say Last Unicorn.
Yeah, that tree scene.
Yeah,
I remember being like, I wasn't uncomfortable as a kid. I was bored with that scene. I didn't like that scene because it was boring.
And you know, I think that's the thing about The Last Unicorn is that while the imagery is like really pretty,
it's very well done.
Kind of parades as a child show. It feels like the content of it is really adult.
It's very adult. Yeah, it's very adult. But yeah, a lot of stuff, and I get it, like a lot of stuff goes over kids' heads and things. But like I grew up in a very conservative, fairly strict household.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been.
So like I don't know how that one slipped by,
under the
because
radar.
Like my parents would watch it too, and I know they saw.
They knew.
They saw things, but it's like, all right,
yep,
cool. Awesome. Well, did you have another one, or
that was mine?
Samesies.
Right. That was mine.
Cool. Do you want to roll the dice? We have a couple more minutes. We could do some more questions if you wanted to.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. 20.
Natural 20.
We like that.
This is fun. Okay.
Okay.
Game nights.
Game nights.
What did you play? Was anybody got hurt? Would you play those games again? Were they like outdoor games, indoor stuff, board games?
So indoor games as a child.
Either or.
Okay.
Right. But it's game night.
Game night. Okay. Yeah. So game night, we would do apples to apples. And
that's fun.
Yeah. And I would feel like the worst person in the world if I didn't win, which I usually didn't.
Oh, no.
But we played game night. We didn't do a whole lot of game nights really. My brothers did a lot of Risk and a lot of Monopoly.
I hated Risk.
Yeah, it was a little too dry for me.
Yeah.
Besides that, we really like to play a form of tag where we would all sit on different chairs, and if you get tagged by the person in the middle, or they throw a pillow at you, then you're it. And you get hit while you're not on the chair. And so the
chair is like you're safe.
Yeah, chair is safe.
Okay.
Anything else, you can be touched by the person who's it.
And then you become it.
Yeah, and that one always ended in violence. Definitely, there were some times where heads were split open. There was like definitely blood on multiple occasions.
That's amazing.
And then we just we played a lot of war. We played a lot of throwing stuffed animals at each other.
Yeah.
Very violent group
awesome.
of youth. It was fun.
Was this like strictly like siblings or like friends, anybody who would join in?
So as siblings, we would all play, but anytime friends came over, that was a game that they were joining in. It's usually cool. Us fighting each other.
That's great. I feel like a lot of game nights with small children, young kids, turns into just violence.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
weirdly.
And no hard feelings against any of the things that were done. We just had a lot of energy.
You had to get it out somehow.
We did.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. It was really fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you still play
that game?
That game or any others?
We do not play that game. We still will definitely throw pillows at each other.
Well,
but no, we don't really play board games.
Do board games anymore.
Yeah, when I am with my family, a lot of times they'll set up volleyball in the backyard, but I don't really participate. I'm a little athletically handicapped, so I don't. But usually my family does a lot more physical activities than board games
than we did before. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun. I feel like my family, we were all very into board games and card games and stuff and puzzles for whatever reason.
Puzzles
we
are
went
fun.
through a puzzle period where just puzzles all the time, puzzles everywhere.
Yeah.
And my parents keep trying to get back to that place. And the rest of us want to do the outdoor stuff and the more physically active things and go places, do things. And my parents are like, let's play Monopoly. And it's Monopoly is fun.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think I do have to say my siblings did play a lot of Settlers of Catan for a certain period.
Okay, yeah. That's a good one.
And for a while, I loved to play Skippo, but after I won Skippo once in 2 turns, nobody would play with me anymore. It was very tragic. So there were some card games, but overall, I would say mostly physical activities.
Cool. Yeah. That's fun. It can be fun.
It can be fun.
Unless it's something that you're not good at. Poor hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. Well, fun. Yeah. Now it's my turn.
Roll the dice.
2. Wow, we're going from the top to the very bottom.
Lots of 2s in our numbers today.
Yeah.
A 12, a 2, a 20.
This one's kind of interesting, right? Because we're trying to be we both identify as women, biologically and otherwise, I would say.
Yes, I do.
But I try to have questions in here for all genders. And I don't know. I'm interested to hear you and my take on this one. So fire trucks, digger trucks, police cars, heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Right? Kids are so into that. You go through this time period where
you really do.
The any kind of thing that you drive or operate
is just the coolest thing in the world.
So cool.
Airplanes,
any kind of art, a tank is so cool.
The tanks
boats
are the coolest.
Are so cool. Yeah. So it's not really a question, but that's the prompt. This is a lot of work, okay?
I respect it. I respect it. Yeah.
This for me brings up memories of this show, and then also playing with a lot of stuff in a sandbox because we had a sandbox and it was so fun.
Did you have a dump truck?
A dump truck.
Yeah,
we had a dump truck. We had a digger truck.
Yes,
the big digger trucks and one of the pushy thing trucks. I don't know what that one's called.
I don't
steamroller. We never had a steamroller. Always wanted one of the flatted out things. Yeah. But we had lots of Hot Wheels. We had tons of Hot Wheels.
That is so fun.
I think one of my brothers still has this giant plastic tote with all the little Hot Wheels. For years it was a go-to present for anything.
Which is Hot Wheels.
Birthday, Christmas,
and the Hot Wheel tracks
Easter.
That you can make.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Crazy.
So
fun. Yeah.
We used to have these trains. We were obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yes, Thomas the Tank Engine, the best.
Creepy, but so cute.
Oh, for sure creepy.
So creepy.
Definitely still haunts my dreams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the movies?
I think so.
Haunt
Like there's
worthy.
so much in there that was
Yeah.
my childhood. And we had these wooden tracks that you could like take apart and reassemble into like different things. And we
Yeah.
had Thomas the Tank Engine, like trains and cars and stuff that would go on these little wooden tracks.
That's so fun.
We loved those things. We were
Yeah.
obsessed with those things. And there was this one TV show. I don't know what it's called. There's just like scenes burned into my brain, right? Yeah. It had like fire trucks as an episode and like police cars as like it would go through each category.
Yeah.
And it had these two guys that would go and like learn about the thing and drive the thing or fly the thing. Like so cool, right?
Yeah.
There was so one where they were helping with this construction and they're building like a new road. And the very end of the episode, one of them is driving the like steamroller that flattens the road out. Mm-hmm. And the other one was like talking or whatever and got distracted and he gets steamrolled, you know, cartoon version where he's like flat. And
I love that.
I thought it was the coolest thing. Yeah. It was like the coolest thing ever. And it's just, that show is burned into my brain. I will never forget that scene. I can like see it in my head right now.
I love that. Yeah. This is actually the best prompt. So
cool.
my brother directly under me, he's 2 years younger, and growing up, he was obsessed with fire trucks and dump trucks and any kind of truck.
Heavy machinery, man.
And we were also best friends. We were completely like we could not be separated, just besties. And we definitely played in the sandbox with all those same toys. Yeah. But my family, we would do what we call like mother-daughter or mother-son dates or father-daughter dates, you know, just quality time with your kids.
With your kids. That's
and cute. My little brother had his mother-son date coming up, and they were going to go look at dump trucks and big trucks like that. Yeah. And I said, Paul, hey, tell mom you want me to go too, and then I can go. And I really felt like I manipulated him. Really, he was just so excited that I wanted to go hang out with him and mom too.
Oh my gosh.
And so he told my mom that he wanted me to come, and so my mom said yes, and we went and we looked at trucks. And so we have all these pictures of us with these huge trucks, and he's in his like little outfit, and I'm true to me in a dress, in a yellow dress, with all of these trucks.
My gosh.
And that's just the epitome of me and my little brothers. And
that's amazing.
It was a lot of fun.
That's really cute.
I love those trucks.
It's really cute. Okay. Yeah. So I guess this is a follow-up question for both of us, right? Like, because the biggest dream ever for a long time as like a little kid was like to go see the fire truck, to like sit in the fire truck or like drive the dump truck, like lift the backhoe, you know? Mm-hmm. Would you still want to do that as an adult?
Oh yeah, for sure. There was
Is there any one specifically that you would be like, oh, for sure I want to do this type of truck or car?
Fire truck.
Oh yeah,
for sure a fire
like
truck
the ladder
or
truck?
A tank.
Oh shoot,
That'd be so
tank.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, there was actually one time where this was years ago now, but I was dating a guy and we had just barely started dating, and it was Valentine's Day, so it felt like a little.
Like it's a little early to have that holiday.
Yeah, like we had maybe been dating a week. Like
awkward.
Very, very new. But he was a farmer and he had to farm on Valentine's Day. So I went and I hung out with him in the tractor while he was plowing the field.
So I'm sorry, but that's like such a like hick thing. But
and you know what? And I had no business dating a hick. Anyone who knows me knows that is so out of character. But honestly, I didn't mind, and I even helped plow the field. And I wish it was a euphemism. We plowed the field, but we did not plow like, IRL.
Oh my word!
Yeah, it was a completely celibate Valentine's Day, but I did plow.
You did plow a field. That's amazing. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I have never driven a tractor before.
Well,
there's this like
I guess we now know who's
about,
better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
clearly you have more life experience than me. Sheltered self,
says the person with a doctorate.
No, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, as a date
on Valentine's Day. Yep.
I mean, like, if you guys had like stayed together or whatever, like, that's cute though.
You know,
it's kind of cute.
We ended up. No.
It's okay. It's okay.
I do not look back on it fondly, but I did think it was kind of fun to be in a tractor.
It's cool to drive a tractor.
Yeah, it's just heavy machinery.
Yeah, like heavy machinery is cool.
Yeah. Lesson to learn, kids. Machinery is not gendered.
It's true. Girls can like heavy machinery and airplanes and fire trucks and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of my childhood, I was like, oh, I'm a tomboy because I like doing all the things that the boys do, but like the boys always did the cool things. So like,
yeah, they did.
But I also like doing the things that the girls do. So like, why not both? You know, why not both?
You gotta have variety.
It's true. Variety is the spice of life, and
it is.
Yeah,
and we like it spicy.
We do. So spicy.
We like to
that
plow
is
fields.
So funny. Plowing fields. Yeah, I've never driven a tractor. I think if I was given the opportunity to like drive like something that I was like, wow, it's so cool as a kid. Obviously tank, like duh.
Yeah.
But like besides something extremely violent.
Hey, you can be writing it in the name of peace.
Sure, yeah, sure. Everybody that's driven a tank has definitely thought that. For sure. I feel like either like a big, huge like crane.
Oh, a crane would be so
cool. Like picking stuff up.
And you know, that one is named after a bird. So obviously it's elegant and womanly.
No.
That machine is
I just
gendered.
think it would be so cool. There's so many like movies and stuff where for whatever reason they're on like a high rise that's on construction or whatever. There's a crane and somebody gets swung around on the crane.
So fun.
Sign me up for that. Like I would love to operate your crane for an afternoon.
Yeah,
like,
that would take people on rides.
Yeah.
Swing them around.
It's like a carnival ride.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What's the one with the big like ball, like the demolition
ball?
That's what it's called?
Yeah, you smash into stuff.
That would make all of my wildest dreams.
Oh my gosh, it's like a rage room, but it's the whole building.
Yeah, listen. Cue the Miley Cyrus.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Why didn't I think of that?
That would be a fun one.
That would be really great.
That'd be so great.
That would be really great. Because like I think my biggest thing with rage rooms or anything else that involves
it's just not big enough.
It's not yeah. But also like you have to swing that hammer and like it's very cathartic, right? But like I'm
dainty.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Lazy. And if I'm mad, I want violence and freaking heck, a wrecking ball.
That would be fun. Oof. It'd be a good one.
That'd be really good. People need to start, people need to start selling this. Like you can have a rage room, but what about a rage building? That thing needs to come down anyway. Yeah, obviously there'd be a lot of paperwork for people to sign, but let's make this happen.
Yeah, I really feel like there's some value in this.
Yeah, somebody could make some money. Like you have an old dusty wrecking ball just sitting around.
Yeah, if you have any wrecking balls, do let us know.
Let us know.
Next
Hit us up in the comments. I'd love to chat with you about making this available to the general public. Oh my gosh.
That sounds great.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, the things we learn about people in their childhood.
Yeah.
This is fun. Thank you so much for coming out and doing this podcast with me, Hannah.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. This has been a very fun time. I feel like I've learned a lot about you.
Oh gosh. I mean, same.
Yeah.
Same. Well, great guys. Thanks so much. That's all we have time for today. But we will talk at you later.